What's going on, YouTube? How's it going? Bit of a impromptu stream tonight. Too big of a story not to cover, and a story that I think is likely probably going to be, my goodness, my hair. I had it in a hat. Bear with me, guys. Too big of a story not to talk about, and a story that I think will be wrapped up somewhat quickly, or at least, I mean, there's an arrest that's been made. Guys, if you don't know what we're talking about, neither do I. This is a case that has been flooding my timeline. I've had several people email me already. It is the case of Anna Walsh, who has been missing since New Year's Day, or New Year's Eve, rather. New Year's Day. From Massachusetts, specifically Cohasset. And if you're from that area, I'm probably butchering the name of this town, Cohasset, just southeast of Boston. So we're going to go through that in a moment. This is where she was last seen. We're going to listen to some of the videos that I have just thrown up here. Obviously, like I said, I'm just hearing about this case. I know that this has been talked about for the last couple days, but it's ramping up right now because there has been an arrest made. Her husband has been charged. They have found a bloody knife in his basement. I'm kind of paraphrasing right now. But I just started like looking into this, and I figured, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and stream. And I have nothing organized right now, but you're just going to go through it with me. I'm going to be relying heavily on the chat in this video. I know some of you maybe have already been, some of you may be diving into this already as well. And so I want to just like kind of go through it with you guys. So to those of you who are here, thanks for being here. Yet again, another Brian, exactly, Megan, and Loco Moco, another Brian. Actually, there's a tweet from I am Legacy 23. It says, Brian Laundrie, Brian Koberger, Brian Walsh. Jesus, Brian's name is popular. Brian's name is a popular name in true crime. The only good Brian here is Brian Enton, which, if you guys are aware, Brian Enton is the reporter out of News Nation, which it looks like he just interviewed a friend of Xana's, which we'll probably talk about on the next stream. But we're going to go through it together. Anna Walsh, I see that Jenna says Cohasset. So Cohasset is apparently the name of the city where she was last seen. I'm going to say hey to everyone as we're joining. We're going to give a few people a chance to join. So if you haven't already, please hit that like button, guys. Hit that like button. It helps get the stream out to the subscribers and get their notifications. I put out a video today, so that's one of my YouTube notifications. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot less people that are notified of this live stream. So if you haven't already, tap that like button. Sage says Cohasset. Okay, Cohasset. Brian Enton's hairline is A++ on an unrelated note. Yeah, Brian's he's a good-looking guy. He's there's a reason why he's on TV, right? And speaking of hair, I need a haircut for sure. I plan to get one this week because I need one. Hello from Ohio. Good to see you. Good to see you. Leo, good to see you. Jenna, hello. Sage. All right, let's go ahead and just start off by... Oh, we're going to figure out the exact location in a moment, but we're going to start off by listening to some of these videos just to get a brief overview of the case. I know, like I said, some of you have already probably been diving into this, but let's just get started.
Gears just a little bit here on Live Now from Fox as we're learning new information out of Massachusetts as police have now arrested the husband of missing Massachusetts mom Ann Walsh. This coming in from the Cohasset police. I want to put up this tweet right now here on Live Now from Fox. Of course, this coming out of Massachusetts as the police say a husband arrested for, quote, misleading the investigation. Cohasset and Massachusetts State Police have taken Brian Walsh of Cohasset, Massachusetts into custody, charging him with misleading a police investigation. Cohasset and Massachusetts police continue to investigate the disappearance of Ann Walsh. 39 of Cohasset. During the course of that investigation, police developed probable cause to believe that her husband, Brian Walsh, had committed the crime of misleading police investigators. Of course, Mr. Walsh expected to be arraigned in the morning session of that district court on January the 9th. So we're following this very closely here on Live Now from Fox. I am Andy Mack. Thank you so much for continuing to watch us, and we want to give you a little bit more detail on what went into this case, this disappearance. The husband of Ann Walsh, a missing mother of three who was last seen on New Year's Day, has been arrested for misleading police in their investigation. Brian Walsh now charged with misleading police investigation into his wife's disappearance. Of course, Ann Walsh, a real estate professional who commutes to her job in Washington, D.C., had garnered national attention with state and local.
She commutes to her job in D.C. from Cohasset, Massachusetts? There's no way. I mean, surely not by car. I mean, that's a 7-hour drive. Anyways.
Local law enforcement traveling over the weekend to the nation's capital as part of their investigation. Family members told police she was supposed to take a rideshare to Logan Airport on New Year's Day to fly to Washington, D.C., where she owns a townhome. Police said there is no evidence Ann Walsh got into a rideshare or that she boarded any flight.
Wait, so she never got into the rideshare. Okay, so this must be so she's got a house in D.C., most likely works throughout the week and or spends weekends every other weekend kind of thing. So that makes sense. Oh, Sage, only home on weekends. Thank you, Sage. So it doesn't, let me scrub back a little bit. She never made it on a rideshare.
Day to fly to Washington, D.C.,
on New Year's Day.
She owns a townhome. Police said there is no evidence Ann Walsh got into a rideshare or that she boarded any flights altogether.
Wow.
In Cohasset on Sunday, several marked and unmarked police vehicles pulled into the driveway of the home of Ann Walsh that she shares with her husband and 3 young children. Investigators were entering and exiting Walsh's home throughout the morning. A ground search of the area around Walsh's home concluded Saturday when 20 troopers from the MSP Special Emergency Response Team, 3 canine teams, and the state police air wing searched the area around Walsh's home. State police said investigators also drained the pool at the Walsh's home and nearby stream. Cohasset police detectives and Massachusetts state police detectives assigned to this office. They traveled to D.C. over the weekend as part of the investigation, working with the Metropolitan Police there in our nation's capital. Walsh was last seen at her home in Cohasset shortly after midnight on January the 1st. Police are seeking help.
Hold on. Let's listen to that again.
Home in Cohasset shortly, nation's capital. Walsh was last seen at her home in Cohasset shortly after midnight on
last seen shortly after midnight on January 1st. I actually flew through D.C. on January 1st as well, although she was supposed to go to D.C., but she never did. Okay, so last seen, New Year's night. And like I said, for those of you who are just joining, I'm just now diving into this case. Obviously, it's one that's kind of blowing up on everyone's feeds right now. I have seen kind of the headlines of her husband being arrested. Supposedly, he bought like hundreds of dollars worth of cleaning equipment as well. So I'm going to be getting into all that, but I'm just kind of going step by step. Bear with me here as I'm going through some of these videos. This is crazy.
January the 1st, police are seeking help from the public in locating Ann Walsh. But the big development today has been the arrest of the husband, Brian Walsh, for, quote, misleading a police investigation. He is expected to be arraigned in the morning session in that district court on January the 9th. Additional facts may or may not be entered into the record at that time, but no further information is expected to be released.
Wow. Okay, so I wonder what he was doing to mislead the investigation. Like, were they, Sage says $450 at Home Depot. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. That's crazy. I wonder what he technically was doing to mislead. Okay, we'll find out, I'm sure. Okay, continuing on, we're going to watch this video now. Thank you guys for joining me. Like the Streamlabs, which also, guys, check out the notifications in the chat. There's a notification that we'll go through every now and then from an account called Streamlabs, and it is technically it's like a moderator, but it's automated messages. That's really awesome. I just love seeing that in there. And if you haven't already, please gently, kindly tap that like button as the Streamlabs has asked you in the chat. I think the Streamlabs little robot thing is very cool. Anyways, I'm geeking out over that. But let's go ahead and watch a couple more videos, and then we'll get into the maps of this area as well. I kind of want to see what this area is. How big is it? Those kinds of things. I'm seeing your guys' comments as well. This is good.
Antoinette, Anna Walsh has not been seen since January 1st, but today this case got a whole lot more complicated since her husband is now the target of this investigation. This morning started with Brian Walsh being taken in handcuffs from Cohasset Police Department to his arraignment at Quincy District Court. Once there, he was charged with misguiding a police investigation and intimidating a witness. Walsh's wife, Anna, went missing on New Year's Day and has not been seen since. Prosecutors say he didn't report her missing, but rather it was her employer that reported her missing on January 4th. This weekend, investigators...
This guy's got a really interesting look. He looks like a character off of like Family Guy or something. Hold on.
Wife Anna went missing on New Year's Day and has not been seen since. Prosecutors say he didn't report her missing, but rather it was her employer that reported her missing on January 4th.
Okay, so he didn't report her missing. Her employer reported her missing. Her employer waited. Okay, so she was supposed to fly back. What is January 1st? January 1st was Sunday. And so I imagine she was just flying back to DC, which is where she commuted. So that was supposed to be Sunday, okay? And then Monday she would have not shown up to work, so that would have been Monday the 2nd, given that that's when she was supposed to report back to work. Some people, I think Monday was closed for some businesses, obviously, the observing of the holiday. And so there's a possibility she wasn't supposed to go to work until Tuesday the 3rd. I don't know when she was supposed to report back, but it sounds like her employer didn't report her missing until the 4th. So, interesting. So he never reported her missing. So I guess if for some reason, so if you don't report your spouse missing and then their employer does before you do, for example, are you immediately, obviously you're immediately looked at as like highly suspicious, which by the way, we have the sus bus here. I'm on the sus bus because I think he is sus. We were talking about this in the last stream. I'm not on the sus bus because I'm sus. Well, no, I am sus. I'm suspicious. I don't know the lingo, guys, but I am calling that incredibly suspicious. But yeah, so apparently after that point of her job calling her in, he was then failure to report a missing person or whatever it is. Anyways, continuing on, this one says, guest who spent New Year's Eve with Anna and Brian speaks out. So this is an interesting one. We are going to get to hear from somebody who actually was with them. So let's see here. On New Year's Eve. So this is very interesting. Guys, if you haven't already, tap that like button. It really helps get the stream out to new potential viewers. We have 247 people in here. I didn't expect many people to be able to join this evening. It's kind of getting late on the East Coast. So thank you to the 250 people that are here. If you could kindly tap that like button, that would be incredible. Okay, let's listen in on this.
WBZ exclusive. Just minutes ago, WBZ's Julie McDonald spoke with a man who celebrated New Year's Eve with the Walshes. He was one of the last people to see Anna Walsh before she disappeared. Julie joins us live in Boston now. Julie, what is this friend telling you tonight?
Well, Lisa, I've spoken with so many of Anna's friends since we first learned of her disappearance from police late last week. These are families along the South Shore, friends of hers in D.C., even former employees here in Boston in the hotel industry. It's been a roller coaster, emotional week for these people, desperate for information and really holding on to hope that she would return home safely this morning. Devastating news, those chilling details presented in court, and they all learned at the same time that we did. But late this afternoon, just now, I sat down to exclusively speak with one of Anna Walsh's very best friends. Now, Jem Mutlu is her former boss before she took this job in Washington, D.C., but he's so much more than that. This is a friend who was at the Walsh home on Saturday night and one of the very last people to see this Cohasset mother before she went missing. He's been in very frequent communication with investigators, meeting with state police, calling them multiple times since to provide any possible details that he can to help them as they search for his friend. But he described for me how everything seemed as it always was Saturday night, celebrating the new year together.
Okay, so for those of you just joining, this is one of her best friends, former coworker or boss before she took her most recent job, was with her that night. So what do you guys think? It doesn't sound like she's been found yet. Some people are asking, has she been found? Catherine 10 Vlogs, I don't believe so, unfortunately. She has not been she is last seen New Year's Eve. This is one of her friends that was with her, so let's hear from him. This is horrific.
Brian had cooked an elaborate meal for us, and we hugged and celebrated and toasted and just what you do over New Year's, and there was a lot of looking forward to the new year. Like there was no indication of anything other than celebrating the new year, like problems on hold, whatever life's problems were, and life always gives us matters and problems and things to deal with, right? That just always is. But the fact that they hadn't, they had been living in separate homes, she was commuting back and forth, she wasn't seeing.
I'm going to rewind that a second. They're living in separate homes.
Living in separate homes, she was commuting back and forth, she wasn't seeing the children as often as she would have liked. I mean, she loved everybody. She definitely loved her children dearly. And so it
kind of seems like he caught himself there. Hold on. I'm sorry I'm rewinding. This is the way I do this when I'm jumping into cases like this and I'm just following along on these videos that are coming out. It's past tense here. She loved her children, and that's just a way that some people speak when you're talking about somebody that's not around. I don't know. As opposed to saying she loves her children, but hold on. He kind of, I think, caught himself realizing that he said loved as if she maybe isn't even here anymore.
I mean, she loved everybody. She definitely loved her children dearly. And so it was festive. She was texting with friends, and, she was sitting next to me at the bar stool and at their kitchen. There was absolutely no indication that any modicum of a tragedy of disappearance or anything else could have happened that night.
Wow. Okay. Hold on. What did they say?
Now, this dear family friend, Jem, he actually met Anna years ago through Brian. He was first friends and colleagues with Brian through a leadership course years ago, then met Anna and has closely befriended this couple over the years. Even that being said, his closeness and his love for this family, he admits that there were times during this week that he began to feel that this timeline didn't add up, and he sadly suspected foul play. You'll hear more.
Yikes. Okay, so this guy, her friend that, we're actually able to see and hear from this New Year's Eve party, was friends with Brian prior to Anna. So that's interesting. No, if people are asking if he is married to her, no, this is who we're talking about here. This is Brian Walsh, who supposedly there was a knife found in the basement of his house. Some people are saying he was on house arrest. I don't know the entire details. We're still going through it, but he was arrested today, or he was arraigned and charged with essentially with failure to report a missing person, I think is what it was. So that is who we're referring to when we're referring to her husband. They weren't sleeping in the same house, it sounds like, but at the same time, she was working in another state, another city. So I don't know if the relationship was like super rocky, or if it was just because of her work pulling her away. Either way, let's go ahead and get into the next video. I'm going to go ahead and say hey to everyone joining. I see a lot of people joining. Darla, good to see you. Glad you were able to make it. Les, what's up with Brian's knives? I have no idea. I'm never dating a Brian. Queen Bee, I think a lot of people are probably a little suspicious of Brian's right now. Could just be a coincidence, though, but I don't know. Shay, just coming on. Is this another Brian? This is another Brian, Shay. We have yet again another Brian in the true crime community being talked about. House arrest pending a federal charge, says Patricia. Interesting. Thank you, Patricia, for that. Liz says his Google searches are really, really bad. Not likely she is alive, in my opinion. I have not gotten to that point yet. Let's keep going. But apparently you guys have seen so much more than I have already, which we have a timeline here, and they referred to the timeline in that last video of her friend basically saying that the timeline does not match up. But if we scan through it for the people just joining before we watch this next video, the timeline that Channel 10 Boston has right here as a refresher, Sunday, January 1st was the last day Anna Walsh was reportedly seen at a New Year's Eve party. It sounds like Brian, her husband, cooked an elaborate meal for her and her friends that were there. Brian Walsh said his wife left around 6 a.m. taking an Uber or Lyft to go to the airport where she was scheduled to fly to D.C. For those of you who don't know or just joining, she traveled to D.C. for work, so that's where she was set to go on Sunday morning. That morning, he said his wife got ready, kissed him goodbye, and told him to go back to sleep before leaving. He told police he woke up around 7 a.m., made breakfast for the couple's 3 boys, ages 2, 4, and 6, and left to run errands around 3 p.m. after a babysitter arrived at the house. He said he had left again around 4 p.m. to see his mother, who lives in Swampscott. What a weird name. He said he got lost along the way, so he... Hold on. Oh, no, Brian. No. You didn't get lost. Maybe he did. I don't know. He said he got lost along the way. Okay, I have questions. How long have you lived here, Brian? And I guess let's look up where what is this? Swampscott. My goodness, where's Swampscott in comparison to Cohasset? You got lost, huh? In a place that you probably go often? Okay, so he had to go through Boston. So we have Cohasset down here. Oh, it's kind of hard to see. I need to make this a little bit smaller. Cohasset's right down here, where my mouse is at, and then Swampscott is way up here. So maybe he did get lost somewhere along the way, but that's a little bit sus to me, guys. Back on the sus bus. Okay, and back to it. So the trip took him 20 to 30 minutes longer than usual. Within 15 minutes of arriving at his mother's condominium, he said he left to run errands for his mother at the Whole Foods and CVS. So here's another thing. If all of this is fake, if his story doesn't line up with all of the potential data, guys, we're seeing it in the Brian Koberger case. So much is going to be able to be pulled if they get the proper warrants and whatnot for his cell phone data, and they're going to be able to look at the cameras of some of these places that he's claimed to go to make sure it all lines up. But he had claimed to go run errands again at the Whole Foods and CVS, get groceries and cleaning wipes. He said he went back to his mother's house and returned home to Cohasset around 8 p.m. But police say they weren't able to find any surveillance footage from his whole... There it is. Oh, you said you went to the CVS and Whole Foods, huh? Police weren't able to find that, Brian. He also said he purchased items there, but no receipts were found. Guys, this is why this is going to be a quick one. This guy, what an idiot. Investigators say they later determined that Anna Walsh had a plane ticket for January 3rd, which she never used. She also never... Oh, so was she supposed to technically go back on January 3rd? So maybe the story was that she... Maybe he was making up the story that she was going to leave on the 1st. That would make sense. Because then her job reported her missing or not there on January 4th. That would make sense. Anyways, she also never showed up at the airport or her job or the apartment that she and her husband own in D.C. It was also determined that no Uber or Lyft picked her up. We talked about this earlier. During the course of their investigation, police also said Anna Walsh's cell phone pinged in the area of their home on Cushing Highway in Cohasset on both January 1st and January 2nd after her husband said she had already left. Okay. So once again, another thing to go against his word. He had said she left. Police were able to determine that her cell phone pinged in the area of their home. Cushing Highway in Cohasset. Okay, let's look this up real quick. Bear with me here, guys. Cushing Highway, Cohasset, Massachusetts. So, boom, Cushing Highway. And if you guys are from the Massachusetts area and I'm mispronouncing any of these words, I'm pre-apologizing because for some reason I struggle with the northeast of the U.S. There's so many like Plymouth and Weymouth and Cambridge. These aren't that hard actually, but it's like there's a lot of similar names and I always pronounce them incorrectly. Before we look into this area of their home, I just kind of want to look at it looks like a pretty, we're going to kind of scroll through this. It looks pretty, just like a lot of houses and maybe some like little shopping areas along the way. Like even right here, like a little strip of retail spots. I want to read some of you guys' comments, just because I enjoy doing that. Jackie Jacks, I'm guessing Brian is not going to be a popular baby name for a few years. Yeah, we're going to have to look it up on the list. I would hope that in the next couple of years, because of all this, it goes down a few notches on the baby, whatever that list is. Just the top 100 baby names. Brian just feels like and if you've named your baby Brian, I'm not making fun of you, but Brian feels like an older name. Like calling your baby Brian feels... I feel like you just call him B. Oh, little B, up until he's like, I don't know, 34. And then you'd be like, oh, hello, Brian. Brian just feels like kind of old. Like Dale. Would you call your baby 3-year-old Dale? I don't know. Dale's a great name. Anyways. Paul, I know Nifa, this is too much. What a thief, took his own wife with him. Carly Lamb, completely agree. Even just reading like 2 seconds, this guy's absolutely allegedly did this. Google searches, etc. I'll have to look into that. Bradley Cooper. Also, Bradley Cooper in the chat. Had no idea. Bradley Cooper watched my stream. Very cool. Love your movies. Cheryl Woosta. What? Did I mispronounce something again? Has anyone actually seen a baby named Brian? Susan Cox's Powell's husband murderer took the family camping in the middle of winter and mommy never came back. He fled to daddy's house after that. No, I said 34, Alicia. I absolutely said 34. Carly, another mom covering up for her son's murder. Guilty. Getting tired of that. Wow. Yeah. Has she spoken up and actually corroborated his story? Anyways, all right, sorry, continuing on. I'm going to just keep reading through this. During the course of their investigation, police also said, okay, so we know this. Her phone pinged when he said that she was out of town. Monday, January 2nd, husband allegedly purchases $450 in cleaning supplies at Home Depot. This is what you guys were talking about. Oh my goodness. Brian Walsh reported that he took his son to get a chocolate shake at Press Juice Bar in Norwell. But surveillance footage showed on that day, sometime after 4 p.m., he went to Home Depot in Rockland, where he purchased $450 in cleaning supplies, including mops, buckets, tarps, whatever that T word is, Tivix. Guys, I don't know, new words. Drop cloths and various kinds of tape. He was seen wearing a black surgical mask, blue surgical gloves, and made a a mask is one thing. If people are, still wearing masks, some people still wear masks in stores, especially if they're getting over being sick. That's one thing, to still wear a mask if you so choose. Was he seen wearing gloves in the store? Now, I know I've seen people also wearing gloves, but you can kind of tell. You look at them and it's like, oh, maybe they have like a sensitivity issue or some sort of like. Was he seen in Home Depot wearing surgical gloves? And he made a cash purchase? This guy's. What? Carly Lamb, thank you. Okay, so plastic. So basically like plastic tarps and drop cloths, things of that nature. I appreciate you clarifying that word. This guy, oh yeah, you wrap a house in it. Okay, yeah, thank you. I knew that sound. Tyvek. Okay, yeah. Holy cow, this guy's an idiot. This trip was allegedly in violation of his probation conditions. Okay. Data from his cell phone also showed that it traveled to the areas of Breckton and Abington during the week of beginning January 1st. No further details on the trip were mentioned in court documents. Okay, so we're going to come back to that in a second because I want to see and I want to piece together some of these different locations that they're referring to. I'm not familiar with this area. So we're going to come back to that in a moment. I'm going to read through this timeline real quick because it's not very long. But Wednesday, January 4th, Anna Walsh first was reported missing. We heard that from the video. Cohasset police and Washington, D.C. police say they were first notified of Anna Walsh was missing on January 4th. Her employees in Washington, D.C., who said she had not shown up for work that day. Brian Walsh's lawyer said in court Monday that her client is the one who called his wife's employer to tell them he hadn't heard from her, which led them to call the police. Okay, so he eventually was the one to call her employer. I wonder at that point if he felt he had, look, he's innocent until proven guilty. But at that point, maybe he thought he finished what he needed to finish if he was the one responsible for whatever happened to her. My gosh, this is horrible. That was a result of Brian Walsh contacting her employer to say, I haven't heard from my wife. Cohasset police arrived at the home around 6:30 p.m., where they interviewed Brian Walsh multiple times. Friday, January 6th, so just 3 days ago, Cohasset police announced missing person search. Former Walsh home catches What? Former home catches fire? Around 2 p.m. on January 6th, Cohasset police issued a press release seeking the public's assistance in locating Anna Walsh. A massive search, including canine officers, search and rescue teams, state police, and local police, began that morning and continued throughout the day. While police searched for Anna Walsh on Friday, there was a fire at a home in Cohasset. I think there's a typo here. The one her and her husband owned until last year. Wait, so they didn't own it up until now. So was that just a weird coincidence? The home was sold in March. State police and local investigators determined the cause of the fire was accidental. So you mean to tell me that right there is a sign from the heavens for their old home that was sold months ago back in March to just by pure happenstance catch on fire on the first day that they're searching for this woman? Clearly, obviously it's a different house. Jules even says different house. That's still such a weird thing to have happen. Wow. The home was sold in March. Okay. So the current occupants escaped safely. That's great. Saturday, January 7th, air ground search continues near Walsh home. So near the home that they obviously currently live in, the search continued. This is a weird story. The search for Anna Walsh resumed on January 7th. A specialized state police unit trained in search and rescue operations, 3 canine search teams, and the state police air wing searched wooded areas near the Walsh's home Saturday. State police divers searched a small stream and a pool, but didn't find anything. The Metropolitan Law Enforcement Council also helped with the search. So this is quite a few people immediately. Did they say exactly what she does for work? Let me know in the comments if you guys have found out. She commutes a fair distance from Boston or the Boston area to DC, and you know, her profile photo, the photo I used for this thumbnail, it seems like a pretty, like, she seems like she maybe has a pretty serious job in DC. Not to say that every job you travel for like that is like mega high level, but it sounds like a lot of people cared about her immediately and wanted to find her. This is crazy. Real estate in DC. Okay, Catherine, thank you. Wow. So the search for Anna concluded later that evening. Sunday, January 8th, the search warrant executed and the husband was arrested. So this was just yesterday, and this is when I kind of started seeing it on my feed. I didn't really look into it, obviously, until today. But investigators executed a search warrant at the Walsh home on Cushing Highway in Cohasset on January 8th, where they said they found blood in the basement and a damaged knife, which also contained blood.
We begin with breaking news in the search for...
Oh, Brian. Later that day, how's he going to explain that? Later that day, state and... Okay, so whose blood is it? Later that day, state and Cohasset police said they took Brian Walsh into custody after concluding that they had probable cause to believe he had misled investigators into the search for his missing wife. Yeah, at that point, they wouldn't be able to have probable cause necessarily that he was the person, the reason that she is missing, but the misleading of investigators into the search, that's enough for probable cause for that arrest, for sure. Wow, crazy. Also, I just saw Carly Lamb's message, and I'm going to read some comments now, because Carly says, my ex wanted to kill me, fantasized about it many times, took me hiking, picked a fight, missed a train on vacation, also took me to bad hoods. Carly, what? So sorry to hear that. I hope you are far away from that ex. The red flag is lots of peeps liked her, but only his mother cares about him. His own father left him nothing except a note in the will. My goodness, you guys know so much about this already. Liz, her 2 youngest, so they won't remember their mother. Oh my goodness. Mommy's boy, you are so behind. They're searching trash containers in trash facility as of now. Hey, Dan, I'm aware that I'm behind. I know that you may be just popping into the stream. This is my first dive into the case, and I want to start with just the timeline and kind of get myself caught up to speed. I am aware that they are searching trash cans. I have tons of links here to kind of go through. But I don't want to jump ahead here. And I know that there are most people in the chat that have probably already seen and read what I'm reading through. But bear with me here. If you want to keep watching the stream, feel free, but I'm going to be behind until I catch up. That's just how it goes, my friend. But thank you. I am aware that they are searching the trash. I just want to read through this timeline. But yeah, so... Yeah, Carol Brown, this is my first time hearing about the case too. Yeah, it's one of those things. I like to hop in on cases, obviously, as soon as I can, if it's something that I am looking to cover. This was one tonight where I had already just started looking into it on Twitter and started pulling up videos. And then I just thought, you know what, I might as well live stream in case there's some people that follow my channel that haven't looked into it as well. Also, this is my channel. Just like Jackie says, and Coffee Buzz, or whoever said it's your channel, whatever. Anyways, carrying on. Sorry. I do what I want, all right? All right, we'll go at whatever pace we want here. Monday, January 9th, Brian Walsh arraigned. So that's just this morning. Monday morning in Quincy District Court on a charge of intimidation of a witness for misleading police between January 5th and January 7th during the course of their investigation into his missing wife. Prosecutors said various statements he made caused a delay in the investigation, which they said would have allowed him to either clean up evidence or dispose of evidence. At the conclusion of the hearing, the judge ordered him held on a $500,000 cash bail. His lawyer, however, argued that Brian Walsh has been incredibly cooperative with the investigation, consenting to searches and giving interviews. She also argued against the hefty bail, saying he is on a GPS bracelet and isn't going anywhere. That's not true, because he's been on a GPS bracelet and he's been taking trips to Home Depot, buying $500 almost worth of cleaning supplies. No, he needs to have a very high bail. His lawyer, however, later in the day, investigators removed dumpsters from outside the Swampscott apartment complex where Walsh's mother lives. Police taped off the area with crime scene tape and hauled the dumpsters away from the scene as possible evidence in the case, the NBC 10 investigators learned. Holy crap. Dumpsters behind police. Okay, so we're going to have to figure out where that's at. The Swampscott apartment complex where his mom lived. Or lives. A rep for the Essex County District Attorney's Office could not comment on whether the search in Swampscott was related to the Walsh investigation. Obviously, it seems to be. A representative for the Norfolk County District Attorney didn't have a comment on the search in Swampscott. NBC 10 Boston has reached out to state and local police. Holy cow. Okay, so that's pretty much the timeline that they have there on Channel 10 Boston. Let's keep kind of chugging through some of these videos to learn a little bit more, and then obviously we'll get into some of the photos from the search that has been taking place earlier. It's good to see that a lot of you are finding this as new information as well, so hopefully that this isn't too terribly boring. And for those of you who haven't already, please tap that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying the content, and ring that bell notification as well. We recently passed 31,000 subscribers, which is really crazy. And we have 415 people in here right now, which I didn't expect on a Monday evening, 10 o'clock on the East Coast here. So if you are enjoying the stream, please hit that like button. I would really appreciate it. Okay, continuing on.
Antoinette, Anna Walsh has not been seen since January 1st, but today this case got a whole lot more complicated since her husband is now the target of this investigation. This morning started with Brian Walsh being taken in handcuffs from Cohasset.
What is he doing? Look at that face. Yo. It's like, he's like, got me. That's the face he's making.
Brian Walsh being taken in handcuffs from Cohasset Police Department.
That looks like a face of a guy that's like, I screwed up. Holy crap, guys. Coffee buzz. This is how I party on a Monday. Oh my goodness. Okay, sorry. I'm going to stop pausing this. This guy smiling. No, thank you, sir. Yeah, this. Wow.
Since her husband is now the target of this investigation. This morning started with Brian Walsh being taken in handcuffs from Cohasset Police Department to his arraignment at Quincy District Court. Once there, he was charged with misguiding a police investigation and intimidating a witness. Walsh's wife, Anna, went missing on New Year's Day and has not been seen since. Prosecutors say he didn't report her missing, but rather it was her employer that reported her missing on January 4th. This weekend, investigators got a search warrant for inside the Walsh home, and prosecutors say that's where they found traces of blood.
Blood in the basement. Blood was found in the basement area, as well as a knife, which also contains some blood.
Prosecutors go on to say Walsh is on surveillance video at a local Home Depot on January 2nd, buying a list of items.
He's on surveillance at that time, purchasing about $450 worth of cleaning supplies. That would include mops, bucket, tops, T-Vex, drop cloths, as well as various kinds of tape.
After a brief arraignment, Walsh, who was awaiting sentencing on a separate federal case, was ordered held on a $500,000 cash bail. On that separate note, Brian Walsh was awaiting sentencing on a separate, unrelated federal case, and because of that, he was under house arrest and wearing an ankle bracelet that will...
Guys, what was his other case? For those of you who are familiar with the case, I mean, I can look it up, I'm sure, right now. Brian, what is his other case? His other federal case he was awaiting? Brian Walsh, federal charges. Wire fraud, interstate transportation for a scheme to defraud and unlawful. Alicia just said something about mafia. He does look like mafia, kind of like, yeah, you got me, Boston. Yeah, like some Boston accent. I can't do the Boston accent, but it's like, come on, you're busting my balls here, huh? Just trying to do some wire fraud. Shoot, I just tapped the mic. Okay, so this guy's totally sus. On another federal, has another federal case, wire fraud, sure, many other things. Also, I don't like to be that guy. I don't typically do this, but it's like, I don't like to talk like this, but she looks way too good for him. My goodness, selling fake art, LT says. This guy is a real piece of freaking work, isn't he? Busting him.
Thank you for joining us on News Nation Rush Hour. I'm Nicole Burley, and a new twist into the investigation into the disappearance of a Boston mother, Anna Walsh. Her husband is in police custody. He's charged with lying to police. Brian Walsh, who was already wearing an ankle monitor, was tracked to a store where police say he bought hundreds of dollars worth of cleaning supplies. News Nation's Kelly Beeson is here. Kelly, Brian, the husband, already convicted in an unrelated federal crime.
Yeah, you're right, Nicole. And it has some really interesting implications in this case. So prosecutors say Brian Walsh is now awaiting sentencing on that federal crime and is bound by the rules of home confinement and an ankle monitor, adding that that's how he was caught, allegedly lying to police about his wife's whereabouts and his movements since she was last seen New Year's Day.
Pass it, you're charged with intimidation of a witness on the 8th of January, 2023. A not guilty plea will be entered.
Do you understand that charge, Mr. Walsh? Yes.
Brian Walsh was charged with intimidating a witness and misleading police in their investigation into his wife's disappearance. 39-year-old Anna Walsh was last seen early January 1st. She was supposed to take a ride share to Boston Logan International Airport to Washington, D.C., where she traveled several times a month for work. Her property management company reported her missing to police January 4th, saying she never arrived. Police say there's been no cell phone or credit card usage, but her phone has pinged twice near her home. Once on the 1st, once the next day.
So a lot of the same stuff that we obviously just read in the timeline from the Channel 10 Boston article. So I'm not going to continue that video. Someone just said something about the latest CNN article on the case. I want something about my reaction to it. I haven't seen it yet. What's the newest CNN article? Oh my goodness. Jennifer Coffendorfer, what did she say? Prosecutor says investigation found blood in basement and on a damaged knife. We saw that already. $450 worth of cleaning supplies. We'll go ahead and take that News Nation thing off there. Oh my gosh, guys, what the heck? Here he is again, looking a little less like a square. I don't know what happened to his face, but it got more square. This looks like he maybe years ago or something before he became, square. But yeah, she's gorgeous, and not to be rude to him. I didn't want, but if he's a bad guy, we can be rude to him. And it seems like he's done a bad thing here. Let's see.
And this is breaking.
Okay, so we're getting to the garbage facility, okay? And then we'll go back into the map. I kind of want to get an idea of the area where they lived. But this is from earlier this evening.
News in the search for a missing mother of 3 in Cohasset. Investigators right now are at the scene of a garbage facility in Peabody. The I-Team Cheryl Fiandaka is here with what she has just learned. Cheryl?
Well, Lisa, investigators are leaving no stone unturned looking for the missing mom. Now, sky high overhead as investigators wearing protective suits and police officers with dogs are searching through mounds of trash in Peabody. Sources say it's part of the investigation into the disappearance of Anna Walsh. The Cohasset mom has not been seen since New Year's Day. Sources say police also impounded the family car. The I-Team is learning there is evidence it was recently cleaned. And investigators have been working to retrace Brian Walsh's steps using surveillance cameras, cell phone towers, and the electronic bracelet Walsh has been wearing as a result of a federal case where he's charged with selling fake Andy Warhol paintings. Lisa and David.
So LT was talking about actually him selling faulty art, fake art. You weren't joking? This guy's a real, like, this guy, they make movies about these kinds of guys. He is a mafia guy, huh? I'm just selling a painting, huh? Is it a Picasso? Is it not it's a Picasso, all right? It says it at the bottom, huh? Come on, you're busting my balls here. It's a real one, huh? This guy's a real piece of work. Holy shit, guys. Sorry. This has got me fired up. This kind of stuff pisses me off. This guy marries way up. He's got an ankle bracelet. Meanwhile, his woman is flying across the country. Seems like she's got all this going for her. They've got kids. Like, what is it about this guy that, I mean, clearly it sounds like they were driving them. They were growing apart, but it's just like just up and move, especially if there were like signs of this guy being like a total creeper and like someone that may like snap. Then again, no one ever knows when people are just going to snap, but it's like, I wish people would just like totally up and just like leave. People just feel stuck sometimes. And it's like, what would have happened if she just like left? I don't know. Anyways, I don't want to make light of the situation by like doing these accents and stuff, but sometimes you have to just kind of, it's just like, when you really think about it, this is horrific. Cause it's like, where is this woman? Right. And it's like this guy freaking laughing his way into the courtroom because he got caught. Meanwhile, he's probably never cleaned in his life, yet he went out and bought $450 worth of cleaning equipment. Like, explain that, Brian. Jeez, we should make shirts that say, explain that, Brian, because there's a lot of Brians that need to explain their reasons for doing things.
We are following this story and have much more coming up.
All right, good reporting there.
Well, that was that. So the trash, they're looking for the trash. I mean, it's like they were apparently looking for trash outside his mom's apartment in what's it called? Scott's Fort, whatever that place was. What's it called? Swampscott. So clearly they have a reason to, or I guess at the very least they're looking for any sort of a trail that could lead to her. But like, what happens here? I mean, you guys, some of you in the chat may be way smarter than me. I'm sure most of you are, in terms of like the actual process of like taking someone in. He's being charged. He was arraigned for, not providing accurate information, also something about like keeping information from a key witness, something like that. He's being charged for certain things, right? He's got $500,000 bail, but like, where do you go from here? Do they have enough to like get cell phone records from this guy? Because at this point, all fingers point towards him and his suspicious behavior. I mean, if we want to hop back on the sus bus, we can hop back on the sus bus. How long is he going to drag this? How does this work from here? I mean, I don't know. I'm incredibly sus of this guy. The pandemic has seen more women than usual being murdered by husbands. Not sure if the percentages and how it has risen. Yeah, I mean, it's just so crazy. Ruby Red, it's just best to leave the individual. Yeah. And Jenny, yeah, I have to keep it light at times. Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a fine line for sure. David says, keep doing the accent. It's funny as hell. David, I'll keep doing the accent when I want to. All right? I'll keep doing look, go get me a water, David. Huh? Go make yourself useful, David. Give me a water. I'm out of water. It's just a Picasso. It's a real one. All right? Okay. No phone needed, Aaron. He's got an ankle monitor. Oh, Amy. That's a good point. Can they just like tap into his ankle monitor and just look and see like, oh, look, you were here, you were at the Lowe's, you were at the Home Depot. Like how accurate is that ankle monitor? This is going to be like signed, sealed, and delivered if they're able to get access to that. Crazy. Okay, so let's go back and look through some of these locations on the timeline. So obviously they were looking through trash here at his mom's apartment. In addition to that, they said his son and him, where did they go? He said he went somewhere, but he went somewhere completely different. January 4th. Okay, so here we go. Later that day. Where did he say he went? I can't believe his lawyer's like, hey, he's incredibly cooperative. Yeah, right. Bear with me, guys. I'm looking for... Maybe it was up here. Okay, here we go. Data from his phone also showed it traveled to the areas of Brockton and Abington during the week, the beginning of January 1st. Let's see where Brockton is in relation to where he lives. Oh, wow. That's actually fairly far from Cohasset. So if he's got cell phone records putting him down here, I mean, that's like 35, 40 minutes away. This guy, though, can we just look at this again? I can't get over this. I can't get over that. Oh, I can't get over the fact that he probably walked out and he immediately saw all the cameras and realized like, oh, snap, like, I didn't expect this. Holy cow. I just started a new cleaning business. What are you guys talking about? This guy. Bloody knife. Like, they're going to have this thing figured out tomorrow. What the heck? Okay, so he was seen in Brockton and then the other city, Abington. So let's just piece these together. Bear with me, guys. Abington. Oh, my gosh. Abington, Massachusetts. Oh, so Abington is on the way to Brockton. What is in between there? They said they had search teams looking in bodies of water already and stuff. Like, oh, man. Got a little river right here. Man, now, who was it that talked about the ankle bracelet? Like, how does that work? Is that like fully tracked? Now I'm wondering, like, if they're able to just, if he's being federally charged on another crime, I don't know if they have like access to that, if they can get a warrant for that, or if you need a warrant for that, since that he's wearing that based on a different situation. But it's like they might be able to paint the exact picture of where this guy went if that truly can be monitored. Can the monitor tell the feds where his wife is? I don't think so. Wow, that's crazy. Also, I'm going to pin Alicia's comment. I had yet to put the PSA, or the call to action, rather. But thank you, Alicia, for adding that. The pinned comment, I guess if anyone, if you're in that area or you know anything, she has included the email for the Cohasset Police Department, the phone number, Detective Harrison Schmidt. Thank you, Alicia, for posting that. Obviously, we talk about these cases while we're live on YouTube, and it's easy to forget sometimes, like, this is an active and ongoing situation, and who knows? maybe someone out there has a piece of information that it's just a phone call away. So thank you for including that. Megan, my friend is a state trooper. Megan, what were you referring to there? They have access to being able to track those ankle bracelets pretty accurately? Megan, he lies and said he was getting ice cream for his kids and didn't have his phone on him on this Home Depot trip because his kids hid it. This guy's blaming the kids. What? What an idiot. Also, the poor children. Like, did they even get ice cream? Like, what the heck, man? Like, he's just lying about taking them to get ice cream. It doesn't sound like they even went to get ice cream. Mr. Raven says, did he have insurance on her? I mean, I'm sure they had some level of life insurance, but it's just like, this will all come out soon. Megan, Carol, thank you. I see that that's what you're referring to. I feel like there was another location in here. That they were referring to besides Abington and Brockton, but I may be wrong. Let me scrub through this real quick. I thought it was later on. It's crazy that the freaking house they used to live at caught on fire just on the day that they first started searching for her. It just pure happenstance, pure coincidence. Very weird. Okay. Rockland. Okay, so apparently the Cotton Farmer, hey, good to see you, my friend. Sage says Rockland. Okay, so is that the Home Depot that they were at? Let me pull this up. Let's just go to Rockland. Home Depot. Rockland, Massachusetts. Wait. Is this Rockland? Or is that Rockland Street? Let me... Guys, if you ever want to tweet me anything or add to the conversation in these cases, especially on a case like this where I am currently just diving into it for the very first time, this is my Twitter and my Instagram. I always have my Twitter opened up on my second monitor, and I'm looking for potential DMs from people. I don't always have my Instagram open, but the Twitter I always have open. So feel free to follow me there and send me DMs throughout live streams. I always try to check throughout, maybe every 10 or 15 minutes. Just figured I'd mention that. Also, a friendly reminder to hit the like button. We have 500 people in the chat now and just over 200 likes. So thank you guys so much for the people who are here and who are enjoying the stream. Consider liking and subscribing as well. Appreciate you guys. Back to the map time, guys. We're hopping in to the maps. We're looking for Rockland, Massachusetts now. Okay, so this is Rockland down here. So the Home Depot in Rockland. So it's kind of all one straight line. Like where... So Cohasset up here. Abington here. Brockton here. Rockland here. Megan Carroll, this is great. New sub. Thank you. Thank you, Carol. Welcome. Also, MK, welcome to the chat. Okay, so Home Depot and Rockland. That's it then. So let's go back to Home Depot, Rockland. So this is Rockland here, but then I guess this is still considered Rockland. Not that it's super important, but I'm just trying to get an idea from the sky, kind of the area. Obviously, they're right on the water. I'm going to go ahead and add that to the description as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Boom, boom, boom. Sorry, guys. Adding the numbers and stuff to the description for people that refresh. big state park in between Cohasset and these towns. It's like, what are these? Okay, there's a lot of houses in here too, though. It's a very residential area is what I'm gathering. And then these cities that lead up towards Boston, it's very, you got Boston up here, and then it just kind of gets more and more kind of sparse golf courses, just neighborhoods, malls, probably, things like that. It's like, what? Like, where is she? Right? And then you've got his mom's location. We'll add that into the mix. She's up here in Swampscott, which is just a wonderful name of a town. I guess there's worse names, but we're looking at a pretty big area covered. Lot of water, a lot of potential spots. Obviously, no one's going to, if we're talking about ditching bodies, it's obviously, we have to talk about that at this point because it sounds like something horrific happened here. It's not like this guy's going to be crossing bridges in downtown Boston and disposing of bodies. So I would probably not think of somewhere in that area, but like out here in his area, I mean, you got a lot of, even out here, it's pretty heavily inhabited. There's a lot of homes, a lot of businesses along the water. But then again, look at this. This is like, I don't know. I've never been there, so it's hard to say, but it's definitely a mix of busy and also it looks like some kind of more remote areas as well. But overall, like not anything too crazy. Cohasset is expensive, says JB. JB, are you from there? Are you aware of the location? No Home Depot where he lives, Mohawk Mom says. Let's look up the Home Depot in Cohasset. Let's see if there's one in Cohasset. That's a good question. Is it ASS? Yeah. No, it doesn't look like there's a Home Depot in Cohasset. I'll double check though. Let me pull up a new map and just make sure. So Home Depot. Yeah, so the closest Home Depot to him, we got Cohasset right here. Closest Home Depot is right there. Guys, I have these new animations, these arrows and these circles that I can use, which is very exciting. So we've got, whoops. Oh, they're both moving at the same time. Anyways, so they live up in the Cohasset area. Closest Home Depot down there in Rockland. Still gotta figure out how those work. Wow, so the fact that they just got this guy on camera at Home Depot buying all this, crazy. Anna Walsh's husband has to explain the blood and the knife in his basement and a cash purchase of a large amount of cleaning supplies while disguising his identity. 9 out of 10, he did it. Yeah. I don't even want to put the poll up because I know that it would be overwhelmingly one-sided in terms of, do you believe Brian Walsh is, you know what I mean? Like, we don't even need to go there for this stream. I think it would lean heavily towards, yes, him being involved in this. But it's just like, what the heck? Okay, so Kat just DM'd me. Speaking of the Twitter, calling out the Twitter, one of the viewers of the channel just said, hey, did you get to the part where he was Googling dismemberment and how to dispose of a 115-pound woman? No, Kat, I haven't gotten to that part yet. I'm going to go ahead and Google that now from the sus bus. Okay, I guess I'll just Google Brian Walsh, Google dismemberment. Oh gosh. Wait, is he a church leader as well? Wait, is this him? No, there's no way. This isn't his LinkedIn. No, different Brian. Sorry, Brian. Sorry, whoever that is. Kat, if you could send me that, let me know. Also, someone just sent his indictment from feds is at the bottom. Interesting stuff. Interesting. Thank you for sending this to me. You guys are awesome. This is why I like going through these live streams and just kind of diving into a case. Brian Walsh, criminal complaint, 2018. Thanks for sending this to me, guys. I'm going to get to that, Kat, in just a moment. This is super, super long. I'm going to have to go through this later. But this is his, I believe, his first... Wait, what is this? Oh, this is the artwork. We're getting to the fake artwork that he was part of the wire fraud situation. Wow. Oh, okay. So we have another... I don't know if you want your name. Wait, what? Hold on. Is the bassist of Aerosmith on my live stream right now? What? Okay, so I don't know if you want your name, shown, but hi, I'm your live stream right now, and I live in this area. The place he states he got ice cream doesn't even sell ice cream. It's also right next to a police station. Cohasset is very expensive and overpopulated. Steve Carell is building a house there. What? Hold on. Tom, thank you for sending me that. Also, is this Tom Hamilton? For real? The bassist of Aerosmith? Are you in my live stream right now? I'm flattered. I think... I'm very confused what's happening right now. Yeah, the legitimately verified page of Tom Hamilton. Sorry if I just outed Tom Hamilton as being in this stream right now. You guys are all gonna... Oh. I don't know if I'm okay. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. I'm not going to even mention what you said there, but that is funny. Thank you for messaging me that. Wow, what an evening this is. Wow. Okay. Very funny. What an interesting night. So I need to find... Okay, so Kat sent me the DM about... Okay, just Google Brian Walsh internet history. Okay, I'm going to get to that now. I don't know why it didn't come up. New York Post. Here we go. Brian Walsh looked up how to... Okay, all of this is alleged, by the way. We don't know if this is confirmed. Obviously, this is New York Post. Trust who you want to trust in terms of where you get your news, things like that. But Brian Walsh looked up how to dispose of a 115-pound woman's body in days surrounding his wife's disappearance. I mean, if this is completely legit, then it's signed, sealed, delivered. You're done. It's over for Brian. The husband of a missing Massachusetts realtor is said to have searched online for, quote, how to dispose of a 115-pound woman's body in the days surrounding her disappearance. Convicted fraudster Brian Walsh, 46, exhibited strange behavior in the days after he claims his wife Anna, 39, took a car service to Boston's Logan International Airport. So we all know this. Lady May, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. No worries for being late. Thanks for being here. He left his house without his cell phone. He got lost on a journey to his own mother's house and forgot to tell police about a visit to Home Depot where he purchased $450 of cleaning supplies. Anna, originally from Serbia, is described as a 5'2" woman weighing approximately 115 pounds and talking with an Eastern European accent. So he Googled how to dispose of somebody, and it's her exact weight, apparently. What a freaking guy. Walsh is currently being held on bail, charged with misleading police in a police investigation after allegedly lying about his movements around the time Anna went missing. Wow. We don't need to get into the children. They have children together. However, cops found video footage of him visiting a Home Depot. So the ice cream place that that I was just DM'd about, I got to look up that actual location because I'm being told they don't even sell ice cream, which is crazy. Let me go look that location up. So this person says they don't even sell ice cream. What is the actual place that they said they went to get ice cream at? All right, let's find this. Let's look up ice cream. Ice cream. Why? Control. Wait, what? It's not on this page. What's the actual place that they said that they were gonna get ice cream? Apparently it doesn't even sell ice cream. What the heck? Guys, this case is suspicious. There's the house. I kind of want to see this.
Okay, we begin tonight with breaking news out of Cohasset. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Glenn Jones.
And I'm Priscilla Casper. The Norfolk District Attorney's Office says an arrest has been made in the disappearance of a missing mother of 3, Anna Walsh.
We're told her husband, Brian, has been charged with misleading the investigation.
NBC 10's Diane Cho joining us live in Cohasset with these breaking details. Diane.
Well, Priscilla, Glenn, we have seen officers coming and going from the missing mother's home here in Cohasset all throughout the day. And as you can see, they are still here at the scene right now. This all comes as the district attorney's office says 46-year-old Brian Walsh, Anna Walsh's husband, has now been arrested and he's being charged for misleading a police investigation. State police and Cohasset police have been back out here at the family's home off Route 3A as they continue their investigation, trying to find the mother of 3 who hasn't been seen since New Year's Day. Police say that she was set to take a ride share to Logan Airport to catch a flight to D.C., where she works as a real estate executive, but never got on a plane. Authorities telling us on Friday they couldn't confirm if she ever got into a ride share at that point. We're told both Cohasset police and state police assigned to the district attorney's office have been in Washington, D.C., looking for any possible clues as to where she could be, and they were expected to be back today. The DA's office says that Brian Walsh will be arraigned in court tomorrow. We have tried to reach out to his attorney, but so far we have not heard back. For now, we're live in Cohasset. Diane Cho, NBC 10 Boston.
Okay, so we got the name of the place that they allegedly went to get ice cream. It's the Juice Press Bar, or the Juice Press in Norwell, Massachusetts. So this place doesn't even sell ice cream. Let's go to their freaking website here. This is where they supposedly went to go get ice cream. Let's look at the menu. All right, off the press, obviously juice. Wheatgrass shots. Okay, wonderful. I like a good wheatgrass shot. That with my double scoop of chocolate. Aloe vera shots. Yep, lots of shots here. The Hanover shot. Orange, ginger, and cayenne. I bet that's nice. Okay, no ice cream yet. Wow, thank you for sending this to me. This place doesn't even freaking sell ice cream. And then we got the juices. We got smoothies. Smoothies are getting a little closer, but still not ice cream. Smoothie bowls. Avocado toast. I mean, this place looks... Yeah, Alicia, I'm offended he lied about the ice cream. I'm honestly offended as well. This guy couldn't even get it right. He should have just said we went to the juice bar in Norwell to get a juice. Because guess what? Juice is still good, and that would have been a believable story because they sell juice there. This guy's really, really bad. Something sweet. Selections change daily. Inquire about today's selections. Freshly made assorted protein balls. Homemade nice cream. Okay, hold on. Whatever this is the closest thing to ice cream on their website under the something sweet section. It's still served with fruit, assorted fresh baked goods, seasonal fruit. Whatever this nice cream stuff is the closest thing to ice cream on their menu. This guy is certainly not bright. Wow. Okay, new message here. No worries, no worries. This is hilarious. This is hilarious. Okay, we got some more people sending me some stuff here. They found evidence. Okay, hold on. We got breaking. JB Buno, thank you for sending this to me, guys. This is why I link my Twitter during the stream. 7 minutes ago, breaking news. Police have found evidence connected to the disappearance of Anna Walsh at a trash station in Peabody. Sources tell CBS affiliate WBZ. It's unclear what evidence was found. Their I-team reports Anna Walsh remains a missing person case as we await police updates. So this is kind of a breaking story now at this point. I think I'm going to change the title to Knife Found in Basement. That'll come after, but we have to, at this point, change to Evidence Found in Connection. Knife Found in Basement. Wow. Renaming the stream. So this just in. JB Buno of WFLA in Florida saying that they have found evidence connected to the disappearance. So what do you think that evidence is? What do you think the... I mean, is it an article of clothing? What do you guys think? Thank you for sending that to me, Megan. Appreciate it. Wow, this is crazy. This is fast. I knew I needed to hop on this and talk about this tonight because from what I was seeing about this, it just seemed like everything pointed to this guy as being incredibly suspicious. And now they're already saying they have evidence connected. So part of me is just thinking, it's like, do we just wait and kind of see if there's an update in the next several minutes? I mean, we can just open up JB Buno's Twitter right here. This is 2 hours ago. This is the clip that we saw earlier of them going through trash nearby. God, what a horrific story. Crazy. Okay, so here we go. Adding to the WBZ update to this thread. So we're going to have some more stuff coming in soon. I got a lot of emails coming through to me right now, so give me just a moment. Let's see what's going on. Perfect. I'm going to quickly do this. Okay, so, man, I wonder how quickly that they're going to have updates. WBZ, Boston News.
On a story that everyone's been following so closely, the disappearance of a Cohasset mother of 3. Tonight, the WBZI team's Cheryl Fiandaca is confirming that the search at a trash facility in Peabody has now yielded new evidence in the disappearance of this mom. Of course, earlier in the day, her husband, Brian Walsh, was arrested by police for allegedly misleading them. We then found out in court that detectives found a bloody knife and some blood in their basement. Prosecutors say the story that he's been telling since she disappeared on New Year's Day has not quite added up. So again, tonight, the newest information, according to the WBZI team, is that evidence has been found at a Peabody trash facility. What that evidence is, we don't know yet. The very latest coming up on the WBZ News at 11 o'clock.
So Peabody, once again, a city or an area in the Northeast that I completely butchered. Peabody. I said Peabody. Sorry about that, anyone who's in that area. So this was 45 minutes ago. So this is actually like, I mean, it's obviously super recent, but WBZ broke this 45 minutes ago. We've only been streaming for an hour and 25 minutes. So, pretty crazy. Obviously, I'm going to be keeping JB Buno's thread open here as we continue on the stream, but it's like, what do we even talk about? Do we go back into the maps and look at the location while we're here? Part of me wants to stay live for a few more minutes. Let's just go ahead and look at Peabody on the map. It only makes sense to, and we have people, Eddie, saying Peabody is next to Salem. So let's go ahead and open up the map that we had earlier. We do, it seems like, have some people from this area in the chat right now. People talking about the price, how it's an expensive area. So I'm sure we have some people that can weigh in on the location. Okay, so yeah, here we go. That would be just north of Swampscott, which is where his mom apparently had an apartment. Kevin says, go to the trash website location. Yeah, trash website, or trash Peabody, Massachusetts. Let me look this up real quick. Did they say the location? All right, let's go back to that tweet real quick with the video. Did they say the exact trash? Jasmine says, it's crazy, my mom lives there.
Story that everyone's been following so closely, the disappearance of a Cohasset mother of 3. Tonight, the WBZI team's Cheryl Fiandaca is confirming that the search at a trash facility in Peabody has now yielded new evidence in the disappearance of this mom. Of course, earlier in the day, her husband, Brian Walsh.
So Peabody, a trash facility is the only thing they say there. So like, what is that? Like a trash facility, like a dumpster, like a dump site, an actual like landfill? Cause like, what is it? You know what I mean? Like landfills are one thing. What's a, trash facility? I think the first thing to look up would be landfills in Peabody. Landfill, Peabody. Wow. What a weird name of a town. Frank says transfer station. Okay, we got transfer station. Hold on. We got movement here. We got movement in the chat. People saying landfill, people saying transfer station. We'll try this. Okay, I don't know if this is what we're looking for here. We're gonna type this into the other map. Bear with me here. This is the actual address 300 Forest Street, which is, this doesn't look like a landfill, but this is the actual, this is the transfer station. Ben says, pretty sure it's called Greenworks. We got a big dumpster outside right here. Let's see if we can't get a view of this from the street here. That looks like a big transfer station. Transfer station equals town dump. Okay. So that big blue building over there. All right, I'm going to check Twitter because I got more people messaging me. Awesome. Thank you for people sending me updates. I got a lot of people sending me that they have new evidence. That is, yeah, we're definitely on that at that point. Viking land, something transportation. I mean, not to say that that's the location, but this is what we're looking at. Republic Services, Peabody Transfer Station, garbage collection service in Peabody, Massachusetts. That is where we're at right here on the map, on this particular map here. So I think this is where possibly evidence was just found within the last hour or so. Al says it's Casella Waste Transfer Station. That's what her admins. Okay, hold on. We'll look that up now too. We'll see where that's at. HPE Direct says Newbury Street in Peabody. But let's just see Casella Waste Transfer Station. Peabody. Casella Waste Systems. Yeah, this is Newbury Street, so maybe it's this one. Yeah. Wow, look at all these like dumpsters. Whoa, look at all these freaking dumpsters, man. Holy cow. All right, what are people saying here? Sky 5 flew over the Republic Services transfer station on Forest Street and recorded video of several investigators and police canine combing through the trash. Okay, so that was the one on Forest Street. I think that was the one we were at earlier, right? Yeah, so that was the one we were just at, the Forest Street location. I'm hearing that people are saying that it's possibly the one here on Newbury Street. So I don't know exactly which one they found the evidence at. But thank you guys for sending, once again, sending information. This is crazy. I bet the people, think about the people that woke up on a Monday morning going to their job at the Waste Systems location, the garbage collection services buildings. And they are now tasked with staying up late, sifting through trash, trying to connect the dots of a missing persons case. This is absolutely crazy. All right. Alex, yes, thank you for sending that. We went through that video earlier. Thank you so much for sending the video of her friend that was last with her. Let's see if JB Bunos tweeted again on this thread. 19 minutes ago is the last time he tweeted about the new evidence that was found. So we have nothing new from JB Buno, but holy cow, you guys. Let me just read some of your guys' comments. I don't even know where to start at this point. Like I said before, if you guys are liking the stream, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell notification to be notified when I go live in the future. We are, of course, going to be covering the Brian Kohberger case this week. I had a video that came out earlier today. It's on my page, kind of going through what we talked about in last night's stream. So if you haven't seen that and you want to check that out, feel free. Thursday, I imagine, will be a pretty quick day in that case, but we will, of course, probably go live Thursday night and talk about the developments around that case. June, talking about Chandler Halderson. Yeah, I hope that this isn't a Chandler Halderson situation. Once again, also, thank you to the people that are following me on Twitter and sending me key information as we all go through this together. If you haven't and you'd like to follow me on Twitter or Instagram, you can do so right there. I always check the DMs throughout the stream, and it's very helpful to go through that. And it's proven to be very helpful during this stream because of the new information that just came out. So thank you guys for sending me stuff. Liz says, I think he bought some tarps too. Yeah, I think it was reported that he bought like $450 worth of cleaning equipment, including tarps. Let's see what all he bought.
First Alert Weather on NBC 10 Boston. Boston's most accurate
wonderful
forecast, certified by Weather Rate.
1 second.
Still kind of waiting for winter.
Okay, we can keep waiting.
We got to figure out where that audio is coming from. I muted it. There we go. Trying to...
Overnight tonight,
You can still hear it, but I muted it on my streaming software. Bear with me. What the heck? Where the freaking heck is... Okay, it was that link that I just had open. I got to reopen that. I don't know why that video automatically played. Okay, I'll turn my computer sound back on. Holy cow, that was annoying. But yeah, so we were just talking about what he bought. Yeah, $450 worth of cleaning equipment included in that. Buckets, tarps, mops. I mean, this guy is, like I said, real piece of work. And then to have the audacity to come out and just be like smiling like this, like what? Wow. Wow, what a waste of space. If he is, I mean, innocent till proven guilty, but he's looking pretty guilty to me. It's a pretty guilty act to be, you know, saying that you're taking your kids to go get ice cream at a juice bar that doesn't sell ice cream, for one, and then instead going to, you know, the Home Depot with your latex gloves on and making cash purchases with your mask covering your face, blue surgical gloves. Like, what? Jenny says he knows he is screwed. Yeah, that has to be the case. It has to be a case of him just realizing at this point that he's done-ski. Absolutely done. Okay, what is everyone saying here? So yeah, once again, I don't know. We can't confirm necessarily where this evidence was found, but there's 2 waste management systems or garbage collection areas in the Peabody area, one of which off of Newbury Street. I don't know if this is where they just found the evidence, but apparently they were also searching the area near Forest Street earlier today. So one of these 2 locations likely is the spot, which actually, if we go to this one and we type in the address, we copy this, we can take this here and add it as a destination. Okay, so yeah, in relation to where his mom lives, it's still really, really close. So I don't know if something was taken from his mom's, I don't know how the routes work, but they were, according to this timeline here, earlier today, they were at his mom's apartment. So this is from his mom's apartment in Swampscott, checking the dumpsters there. I would imagine if their route from Swampscott takes trash up to this location, maybe he ditched something at his mom's apartment and they just now found it. I don't know. Crazy though. Crazy. What even is this? Okay, let's see if I I'm not going to be up all night, but I want to see if they're going to tweet any updates. Let's see if JB Buno has tweeted anything. So yeah, 25 minutes ago, he tweeted about the evidence. Nothing yet. Danny K says, what state is this in? Danny, this is in the great state of Massachusetts, my friend. If we zoom out on the map, this is where we're looking at. Specifically the area of Boston. We have people in the chat right now talking specifically about the town of Cohasset, which is where Anna was last seen on New Year's Eve. Cohasset is apparently a pretty expensive place to live. They're just southeast of Boston. He, being the husband, Brian, was seen, and cell phone data has shown that he was in Brockton and Abington. He spent $450 at this Home Depot in Rockland. Was also seen going to his, or I guess shown, he was going to his mom's apartment in Swampscott. So we have all the locations pulled up. It's all in and around the Boston area. And at this point, all fingers are pointing towards him as being pretty much the number one suspect at this point. At this point, he is the most sus. And until you can show me somebody else that isn't as sus as this Brian guy, I will remain on the sus bus until further notice. Thank you very much. Okay, so what's everyone saying in the chat here? Is there death penalty? Good question. Is there the death penalty? Is the death penalty in Massachusetts? If I had to guess, I'd say no. Yeah, so it looks like it is electrocution was the most common form of execution in the Commonwealth until capital punishment was abolished in 1984 after the death penalty was ruled unconstitutional in the state. Governors, including Mitt Romney, have tried to reinstate the death penalty. So the death penalty does not appear to be active in the state of Washington. Or sorry, not Washington. Massachusetts. Mohawk Mom says, I need a steering wheel for the bus. Hey, you know what? You don't know what I'm doing down here. I'm actually driving the bus, okay? My hands are off the wheel right now, but someone's got to drive the sus bus. All of you guys are in the back. You guys are on the sus bus with me. I assume you agree that he is very sus. Eddie Haskell says, another Brian. Yeah, tons of Brians. Tons of Brians. Pretty wild. All right, what are you guys saying? What are you guys saying? Jenny, so taxpayers have to pay for this creep? Yeah. That's how it goes, guys. I was just shocked. SJ spoke with her mom around December 20th, asking her to come to their house to stay the next day. Woman lives in Serbia. There is a Monday that is happening. She should have known that. Yeah, I need to look a little bit more into some of the details of their days leading up to it. We obviously watched the video earlier of the guy that was with them on New Year's Eve. But aside from that, I have no other information. We are seeing from a tweet, thank you for sending this to me, that the Republic Service Station is on Forest Street. 5 Investigates is also learning part of the search involves a dumpster brought from a Swampscott apartment complex where Brian Walsh's mother lives. So once again, just like I said, we've got this one here off of Forest Street. This looks like the actual waste management place, the garbage collection facility that they found the evidence at. And it looks like they confirmed that a dumpster was taken from his mom's apartment in Swampscott, as we can see from this photo. So yeah, it looks like it's everything's just fallen into place here. Jenny says, were they separated? I don't believe they were separated. It sounds like they were sleeping in separate beds and maybe in that direction, heading in that direction. So it makes you wonder, you know, what was their marriage like? Were they drifting apart? She only came home on weekends, worked in DC during the week. Yeah, Liz, we went over that, but yeah, thank you for reminding people. DNA ruins everything. Frank, DNA solves everything, my friend. DNA, the new DNA evidence is incredible. The things that people have access to in these cases, that the detectives, the law enforcement have access to, is incredible. I mean, we haven't even talked about the blood that's found in the garage or in the basement. I don't even think they've matched that with anybody's blood. It's probably safe to assume that that blood is from Anna Walsh, but we don't even know that yet. So this case is so fresh, and it's imploding in front of our eyes. And at the center of it is this guy. Crazy. Crazy. What a freak. I was kidding, Aaron. That was in humor. No. I get what you mean. I saw all of the emojis. I knew that you were joking there, Frank. DNA is amazing. Yeah. Man, what a sad situation. Let's go ahead and check in on this tweet. I don't want to ramble on too much. Amy P, you nailed it. What did Amy P say? Permanent decisions based on temporary emotions. Amy P coming in with the words of wisdom. Yeah, it just makes you wonder when these people snap. Like, is that what's happening? They're just snap? Or is it like, is there something more going on? Like, was this bound to happen in some way? Was this guy eventually going to snap on her? Was there more to it? Was she holding pieces of art that he was trying to sell? Fake pieces of art. I mean, I'm just joking, but Gwen says, no doubt his cellmates will wipe that smile off his face. Absolutely. Wow. He looks like a cinnamon roll is what he looks like. This is the kind of guy that acts like he probably would do just fine in prison, but to me, he looks like the opposite. He may act like a mob boss selling fake paintings, but this is the kind of guy that they wipe the floor with these kinds of people, at least by the looks of it. I mean, he's an idiot. Buying $500 worth of cleaning supplies and tarps, like, what an idiot. He was jealous of her. She probably had another lover. Hey, we don't know that she's got another lover. We don't want to say that she was out there with another person, but there could have been a situation where they were on the way towards, ending their relationship, and maybe there was a jealousy thing there. Who knows? Wow, that's crazy. I can't stop saying crazy. I know I can't stop saying it, but guys, what is this story? Here I am just like kind of jumping into it out of nowhere tonight, and then all of a sudden the DNA, like, evidence found. Like, what is this evidence? I don't know if we'll be able to hang around. I mean, it's already 11 o'clock on the East Coast where I am at as well. It's 11 o'clock in Boston, in Massachusetts, in the area that this is all taking place as well. But I don't want to stay up too late and just kind of ramble at this point. We're nearing the 2-hour mark on this stream, but I appreciate you guys being here. We're going to wind down here. For those of you who are just joining, if you want, this live stream will play as a video after the live stream is up. So if you want to catch up or see some of the stuff that we got into on the stream, feel free to go back, scrub back, and check out the beginning of the stream. For those of you who have been here, thank you guys so much for joining me on this stream. If you guys haven't already, like I keep saying, hit that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. And if you haven't already and you want to, subscribe. We're nearing 32,000 subscribers. We passed 31,000 a couple days ago, and we are creeping up towards 32,000. So if you want to be notified when we go live in the future, the best way to do that is to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. But only do that if you want to continue returning to future streams or future videos. Also, I guess it's good to note, because there is probably some new viewers on this live stream as well, that I have created a true crime documentary about a cold case that took place in the state of Kansas. That will be coming out in the coming months. I have more information on that soon. The trailer for that documentary will be dropping on this channel. So if there's any reason to subscribe, it is to support cases like the one that I covered in my documentary. I've been working on it for the better part of the last year. It is now done. So I'm really hoping to use this YouTube channel to propel a new audience onto this cold case. So if anything, please subscribe so you can stay notified for when I drop the trailer here on this channel exclusively. In the next probably month, the trailer will be coming out, and then of course more information in the in the future about when and where you guys can watch it. Andrea, thankfully I married Ryan and not a Brian. Yeah, not a good time to be a Brian in the country. Not the. I mean, there's a lot of Brians in this country that are not horrific, potential killers. But in the last year, we have seemed to have run into a lot of sketchy Bryans, that's for sure. So anyways, I'm done rambling. Thank you to the mods. I know that not every one of the mods is here tonight. The beauty of having a few different mods is people being able to hop in when we do go live. So thank you to the mods that were here tonight. Alicia, Alex, I think I saw Angela in here earlier. Big shout out to the mods if you guys want to give them some love in the chat. Thanks to the mods for joining and for being helpful in the chat. Yeah, I mean, I guess there may be a case for us going live and talking about this tomorrow. So if there's new information, obviously tonight, right when I get off, maybe if it's substantial enough, we can talk about it in a stream tomorrow night. So stay on the lookout for that. Maybe I'll just make a video on it. We'll just have to see. Keep the kids in your thoughts. That's another thing with this case. Just the idea of this family all of a sudden being torn apart, regardless of how this thing shakes out. And at the root of it is children, which is horrific. So anyways, keep that in front of mind as well when we talk about cases like this. It's awful. All right. Thanks, guys. I'm done rambling. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.